This is an iHeart podcast.
Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right. We're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Levi and Ivy ran into school each carrying a small cooler filled with food. It was one of their favorite times of the year, when all their classmates had the opportunity to create something amazingly delicious in the fabulous food contest. Each year, all the teachers at Levi and Ivy's schools switch up their classrooms for one day. They removed the desks, pencils, and notebooks, and instead filled their rooms with big tables, cooking and baking equipment, and loads of tasty ingredients, so the kids could try and create something wonderful. And while sharing and learning about different recipes is awesome, there was something else that each student in the school had their eyes on. The fabulous food contest trophy, whispered Levi and Ivy as they stood in front of the glass display case by the library, staring at the big gold trophy inside. "I'm for sure going to win this year," said Ivy to her brother. "My practically perfect pizza bites will be everyone's favorite, and I'll get my name on that trophy for sure." Those pizza things are fine, I guess," replied Levi. "But my beyond belief bacon biscuits are obviously the sure winner, because we all know that everything is better with bacon." Ivy just sighed and gave her brother a look before she walked down the hallway to her classroom. Her teacher had already set up their workstations, and everyone was ready to cook or bake whatever tasty food they had in mind. That was, of course, everyone but Max. This was certainly not Max's favorite time of the year, because Max was by far the pickiest eater in the whole school. If it wasn't a plain cheese sandwich on white bread with plain potato chips and a chocolate milk, Max was not interested. He didn't like trying new foods, and he certainly didn't like making new foods. Max was one of Levi's good friends, and when he got to school that day, Levi could tell he wasn't happy. And that was because he knew what was coming up the next day. The big taste test and judging. Everyone in the school was expected to eat the special food that their classmates created and judge which was the best. Max was not looking forward to that at all. "Hi, Levi," Max said as he plopped down in his desk chair and dropped a small brown bag on the floor. Levi knew just how his friend was feeling. "Hi, Max. Don't look so down, buddy. Maybe this year is when you'll find a new food that you really love," said Levi, trying to be encouraging to make his friend smile. "You have to be open-minded and give it a try." As Levi was talking, Max looked around the classroom at the other students, taking out all the different ingredients from their bags and placing them on the workstations in front of them. "So many different foods," said Max in a quiet voice. "Just look at it all. Chocolate chips, coconut flakes, hot sauce, shredded cheese, pepperoni, pineapple, brown sugar, diced onions, whipped cream, tomatoes, peppers, and who knows what else." Sounds great to me. As long as all that stuff isn't in one dish, then we'll be all set," laughed Levi, still trying to make Max smile. "It's all just too much. Too many ingredients, too many new tastes, and too much for me," said Max as he grabbed the brown bag he had with him. "So, let me guess. You're making what you make every year," Levi said. "Plain cheese sandwiches on white bread?" "Yep, that's right. At least there'll be one thing I can eat at the judging tomorrow," said Max. "But Max, how do you know you won't like anything else if you don't try anything else?" asked Levi. "I just know, okay?" said Max. "Food is scary to me. What if I eat something and I don't like it and it gives me a stomachache? I really don't like stomach aches, so my plan is to stick to the food I know, and everything will be all good." "I guess," replied Levi. "But I just know there's something out there that you would love just as much, if not more, than plain cheese sandwiches on white bread. But you'll never find it if you don't give something new a try." Max turned away from his friend, not interested in trying anything new at this point. He pushed his brown bag aside and started to read a book, as Levi got his food station ready. However, as he set up, Levi couldn't stop thinking about a way to get Max to try some new food. He tried and tried to think of what would work, and then he remembered how much Max loved playing new games. "What if I come up with a food game that I can play with Max tomorrow?" thought Levi to himself. Maybe the game would be enough of a distraction that Max would be a little more open to trying some new foods. Levi ran the idea by Ivy at recess, and she loved it. "I think that'll totally work," said Ivy. "No one loves games more than Max." But on second thought, no one dislikes new foods more than Max, too. This is a tough one, but I think if we both give it our best shot, then there's a chance he'll be voting my pizza bites to the top spot tomorrow. "I agree with everything you said, except that last part," said Levi. "He'll love my bacon biscuits, and that'll be the thing that starts him off on a food journey of a lifetime." "Whatever, Levi," giggled Ivy. "We'll work on the game tonight at home and have it all ready for tomorrow at the big tasting lunch." Levi and Ivy both worked hard all night, creating a fun food game that they both hoped Max would love too. And the only way to find out was telling him all about it at school the next morning. But as you can imagine, it didn't go exactly as they had hoped. "No way am I tasting all that food," said Max as he, Levi, and Ivy stood in the cafeteria, looking at the tables of tasty samples that the students had created the day before. All the treats had been stored overnight, and those that needed to be cooked or baked were finished in the morning by the teachers. Everything was ready for the big judging. Even Max's plain cheese sandwiches on white bread. "Come on, Max," said Levi. "The game is going to be super fun. It's called Taste Adventure, and you get a point for eating different foods. And food combinations are worth even more points," added Ivy. "And at the end of today's fabulous food contest, if you have over 50 points, you'll get a super amazing prize." It was then that Max's eyes lit up. He loved games, but he loved prizes even more. "What kind of prize?" asked Max, seeming a bit more interested now. That's when Levi reached into his backpack and pulled out a brand new lightning-fast yo-yo in Max's favorite color, Lightning Bolt Yo-Yo Yellow. Levi had gotten it for his birthday, and Max told him all the time how much he loved it. "Wow, no way!" exclaimed Max. He was feeling both excited and very nervous at the same time. He really wanted that yo-yo, but he knew the only way to get it was to eat some new foods. But what if I get a stomachache?" asked Max. "We already talked to your mom, and you don't have any food allergies. The worst thing that happens is you taste the food, you don't like it, and you spit it out. No chance of a stomachache from that." "But if you don't eat the food, remember you don't get the points," said Levi. "And fewer points means less of a chance of winning this awesome yo-yo." Max watched as Levi spun the yo-yo up and down in front of him. After a minute of thinking it all over, the thought of playing a game with his friends, earning points, and winning his dream yo-yo won out. "Okay, I'm in," said Max. "Let's try some new foods." Levi and Ivy could have not been happier, letting their new friend know that he was in for an amazing day. And maybe, just maybe, in the big sea of new foods in the cafeteria, there was one waiting that would be Max's new favorite. The teachers finally called all the students to sit down. Once they were seated, the teachers started passing out small samples of food. Max, Levi, and Ivy all sat down at the table together, ready to start Max's game. But he started to look a bit worried as the first food samples were being passed out. Seeing this, Levi grabbed the lightning-fast yo-yo from his backpack and plopped down on the table in front of Max. "Everything is going to be just fine. Just think positive," said Levi. "Yeah, I'm positive I'm not going to like this," whispered Max to himself before he took a deep breath and got ready to try his first bite. "We're starting the game now," said Ivy to Max and Levi. "And Max, to make it a bit easier for you to ease into it, you get to start off with a really easy one." Ivy said this as she slid a tiny plate towards Max that had one bite of a plain cheese sandwich on white bread sitting on it. "Yep, you get to eat your food creation first," smiled Ivy. "Thank you," said Max as he gobbled up the sandwich bite in front of him. "Absolutely delicious." "Okay, that was worth 1 point," said Levi as he marked down a point for Max on the back of his voting card for the contest. That one gets my vote for sure," said Max with a giggle. No, you can't vote yet, Max," giggled Levi. "Let's try some more." That's when Max got a little nervous and grabbed the yo-yo to hold in his hand. He thought that if he kept his eye on the prize, and his hands too, that it would make it a little easier to take that first new bite. The first new food Max had to try was a berry smoothie. "There are lots of delicious berries mashed up in there, Max, so this one is worth 2 points," said Ivy. We'll all take a taste on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. The 3 friends all grabbed the tiny cup in front of them and drank the smoothie. Even Max. I can't believe the game is working, whispered Levi to Ivy. She couldn't believe it either and gave her brother a smile and a thumbs up. They both turned to Max to wait and see his reaction as he finished the smoothie. They watched as he scrunched his nose and closed his eyes, but after swallowing the smoothie, he said, "It was okay." "Okay is good," exclaimed Levi. 2 points for you, Max. "We're so proud of you," added Ivy before they tasted their next bite of food, which was a small scoop of mac and cheese. I like the taste. Cheesy like my cheese sandwiches, but the feel of it is a little weird," said Max. "Okay, that's fine," said Ivy. "Another point for you. You're doing great." After that point, it was clear that Max was open to the game and ready for more tasty treats. The next few plates were pasta with red sauce, potato salad, a tiny hamburger, and a bite of banana cream pie. Max ate all of them, liking some more than others, but he still gave them all a try. The kids all took a break at that point and went outside to stretch a bit and have recess. After a little playing, they were back at it tasting more yummy treats made by their friends at school. Max tried a bit of tofu, a bite of beet salad, a homemade granola bar, and even a piece of meatloaf with peppers and onions in it. That little bite earned him 4 points, and he kind of liked it. After another break and some more encouragement from his friends, Max was ready for the last round of food tastings in the contest. And up next were Levi's Beyond Belief bacon biscuits and Ivy's practically perfect pizza. "We're getting close to the end, Max, and you'll need to pick your favorite soon," Levi began, "which I'm sure will be this little bite of awesomeness right here." Levi smiled and slid over a tiny plate with a piece of his bacon biscuit on it. "Oh, that's funny," said Ivy with a laugh, "because I know Max's favorite food bite will be my practically perfect pizza." "I guess we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?" said Levi, staring at Max as he and Ivy waited for their friend to taste both treats. Max looked excited, picking up Levi's bacon biscuit. "My dad loves bacon, and it smells pretty good when he's cooking it, but I've never tried it," said Max, looking at the bite of biscuit on his plate. He then popped it into his mouth, finishing it up, and just sat there. He didn't say a word. "So, do you like it, Max?" asked Levi. "Oh, no, I don't like it at all," said Max, making Levi feel terrible. That was until Max finished his thought. "I don't like it. I love it," exclaimed Max. "It's incredible. I can't believe I've been missing out on this taste my whole life." "Yes," called out Levi as he heard other kids around him also reacting to his bacon biscuits. "I'm totally going to win this contest." "Don't be so sure," said Ivy. "Max and the rest of the school hasn't tasted my pizza bites yet." And that's when Ivy slid a tiny plate with a bite of her pizza in front of Max. However, it didn't get the same reaction that Levi's dish got. "Oh no, not olives," called out Max, pushing the plate back toward Ivy. "I really, really don't like olives. I ate one by accident when I was 5, and it was the grossest thing I'd ever eaten. Sorry, Ivy. I can't do it." "Oh no, Max, and you're so close to reaching 50 points in your game," said Levi. "If you don't eat Ivy's pizza, you won't win the yo-yo." Max was so bummed to hear it. He folded his arms and stared at the pizza on the tiny plate in front of him. "Max, you've been so good about giving every other dish a try. Please try mine," said Ivy, trying to convince her friend. "My pizza doesn't just have olives on it. It has olives and peppers, onions, broccoli, a little tomato, some garlic powder, Italian seasoning, melty mozzarella cheese, a chewy crust, and the best sauce ever. Just give it a little nibble. Do it for me." "Max, do it for the yo-yo," added Levi. Max gave Levi and Ivy both a look before picking up the pizza bite. "All those tastes together are so delicious, Max. You have to trust me," said Ivy. "It's not just like eating a handful of olives. Please try it." Max didn't want to disappoint Ivy. He didn't want to lose the game that they were playing, and he really wanted that yo-yo. So he took a deep breath, held the pizza up to his mouth, and popped it in. He chewed it for a bit, then swallowed it with no expression on his face at all. "So?" asked Ivy. "You didn't spit it out. That's a good thing, right?" "It's not just a good thing," Max finally said. "It's a great thing. Your pizza was amazing." Yes! Called Ivy, looking at her brother. Who's going to win the contest now? Ivy heard others in the room enjoying her pizza and thought she had a really good chance of winning it all, just like Levi. We're so proud of you, cheered Levi and Ivy as they turned their attention back to Max. And that little bite just got you over the 50-point mark because of all the great ingredients in it, said Ivy. The yo-yo is all yours. Thank you so much for doing this all for me, said Max to Levi and Ivy. I can't believe I've been missing out on all these great foods and flavors for so long. I'll have to tell my mom. We'll be making something different for lunch tomorrow. Maybe you two can come over and we can make something together. That would be great, said Levi and Ivy. They filled out their voting cards for the contest and dropped them in a box to be counted up later. The winner would be announced at the end of the day. Levi and Ivy both still wanted their name on the big Fabulous Food Contest school trophy, but they kind of felt like they had already won. Just by getting Max to step out of his comfort zone and try some new things that he ended up really liking a lot. The end of the school day arrived and the principal's booming voice rang out over the loudspeaker in each classroom. All the food samples were wonderful today, and we thank you all for participating in this fun and friendly contest, she began. But now for the winner. This year's Fabulous Food Contest winner is a little different than any other year before. What? Said Levi out loud as he looked at Max. What does that mean? This year we have a tie, she went on. This year's winners are Levi and Ivy. Congratulations. Please come to the office to get your picture taken with the Fabulous Food Contest trophy. Your names will be added to the plaque on it this week. Levi and Ivy could have not been happier as they met up in the hallway and walked to the office together. It was a win for everyone that day, including Max. Levi and Ivy found out that sharing the contest win felt even better than winning over the other person. And Max discovered that trying new foods wasn't actually scary after all. It was delicious. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.
This is an iHeart podcast.